Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Today's video is all about tips that I want to give you on how to declutter and how to kind of be brutal about it. And I wanted to start this video by pointing out that if you love the amount of makeup that you have, that's perfectly fine. I'm not saying you're not allowed to collect makeup. I love buying new products and trying new products out and having a lot of different choices when I open my drawers in the morning. And I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to collect makeup. If you open your drawers and you're comfortable with the amount of products you have, then this video is not for you. This video is for those of you who open your drawers and you feel overwhelmed. Like there's so much product and just not enough time to use it, and you just feel guilty for some reason or any kind of negative feeling. You open your drawers and you don't feel happy. You're not happy with your collection. You kind of just feel negative. This video is for you. And people ask me how I can be so brutal in my declutters. I have a series on my channel and I've done maybe 2 or 3 videos where I go through one product category like blushes or highlighters, and I go through each product and I explain to you why I'm going to keep it versus why I'm going to get rid of it and why. And people ask me, how can you get rid of half of your highlighter collection? How can you get rid of 17 blushes and not feel bad and not feel guilty? And I think a big part of it is time has really helped. If I had tried to do this last year when I was still in makeup collecting mode and I was still working at Ulta and I had the discount and I was constantly surrounded with new products, I think it would have been much harder for me to get rid of products the way I do now. I think I'm just in a different headspace where I want to downsize, I want to make every product count, and I don't want to have multiples of the same thing. It's just a lot easier for me to look at my products and enjoy what I have. So I have 2 main methods that I use. The first one I think is really great for people who have like a sentimental connection with their products and they have trouble getting rid of it, not because they actually use the product, but just because of like a certain thing that's making them hold on to it, other than the fact that they use it a lot and like it. And this kind of takes the emotion out of it. It kind of makes it easier for you to have a realistic idea of like, am I going to use this? Am I going to enjoy it? And then the second one involves asking yourself a small series of questions to figure out, does this product make you happy? Does it serve you in a way? Does it bring value to your life or to your collection in any way? And of course, I know I'm making it sound like it's some big serious thing. It's really not. I'm not saying you have to declutter for decluttering's sake. I'm not saying you can only have a certain amount of each product. I'm just saying these methods have really helped me when I was going through and downsizing my collection. The first method, I have it written on this little paper. So like I said, the first method is probably a little bit more brutal than the second one. To start, you take every product from one category, and I use this especially for my blushes. I took them all out a few months ago, and what I did is I took them and put them in certain color categories. So I sorted them by pinks and purples and peaches and like crazy colors, and I sorted them, and then I took a piece of white paper and I kind of folded it into sections, and I just did a finger swatch of each product on that paper. And I think I also did it on my arm at one point too, because I had a lot of peachy blushes and they all kind of looked the same, but when I swatched them on my arm I could really see what the difference was. And then I went in and I figured these 2 colors look exactly the same. I don't need both. I'll just keep one. I have 7 peachy shimmery blushes. I don't even wear peachy blushes that much. I'll get rid of a bunch of them and then keep the one that I love the most. And then I go through, and once I have all of them from that category, I figure out which one is the best formula, which one has the best packaging, which one do I like the most, and then I keep that one. And having it all on one piece of paper really shows you how similar the products are once you take the packaging out of the picture and how much you paid for each one out of the picture. When you just look at the blush for what it is, the color, how it's going to look on your cheeks, it's really easy to see like, wow, I have a ton of mauve blushes and there's no way I could ever use all of these and feel like I need every single one. This also really works well for lip products. A good example I have is I had like 4 different red orangey lipsticks. I don't need that many. I don't wear red lipstick that much for me to need to have 4 different lipsticks. So I kept the Venezia from Stila, the liquid lipstick, because that one has the longest lasting power. I don't like wearing dark lipsticks that are creamy because I just feel like it's easy to bleed and it's easy to move around, especially with how much I talk and touch my face and move around a lot. I'm kind of sloppy with my makeup, and so I need something a little bit more foolproof when it comes to a dark lip color. And so I kept Venezia from Stila and I got rid of the other red lipsticks that I had just because I knew I wasn't going to choose them over Venezia. I was always going to choose Venezia over those ones. That method really helped me for those kinds of products. The second method involves asking yourself a series of difficult but important questions. Ask yourself, if this product disappeared today, would I run out and repurchase it immediately? Sometimes asking yourself to hypothetically pay for a product again shows that it's not worth replacing. I see Jessica Braun do this a lot. Whenever she does her declutter, she starts by picking out the ones that she knows she would pick up again if her makeup disappeared. She would run back and pick this off of the shelf immediately, and those are the products she knows that she would keep. The second question is to ask yourself, would I choose this product over products I have in my collection? Would I choose this blush over the other blushes I have already? If you know you have other products that you prefer because of the formula or the long-lasting power or the packaging or something like that, then you know that you can keep that one and not feel guilty for getting rid of the other ones, because you know when you're actually making that choice in the morning, you know you're going to choose that product over the other ones that you have. The third question is to ask yourself, is there someone in my life that would appreciate this more than me? This happened to me a few months ago. My friend Casey was visiting and she was talking about how she was so excited to go pick up the blush from The Balm, the Hot Mama blush. And I had that blush already in my collection and I really hadn't touched it in months. And even though I liked the color well enough, I really didn't pick it up. If ever, I really never used it, and so I figured, I'll just give it to Casey. I know she's very excited, and I knew she would use it a lot more than I did, and I knew she would get a lot more joy out of it than I did just having it sit in my collection. It made me feel less guilty for getting rid of it because I know it was going to a good home, and I also knew that if I were to feel guilty for getting rid of it and I ended up wanting it, I could just repurchase it. And the last question is, does this product make me feel bad in some kind of way? Do I feel guilty because it was a gift from somebody or because I spent a lot of money on it? Even if you keep that product, you're still going to feel negative. In fact, holding on to it is probably going to make you feel bad for even longer. If you get rid of the product and it was a gift, do you really think that person is going to rifle through your drawers and check to see that you still have that product? If they ask you about it, if you feel comfortable telling a little white lie, you can tell them, oh, it went bad and so I got rid of it, or so-and-so really wanted it so I gave it to them. Or if you feel comfortable, you can just tell them, oh, it really didn't work out for me so I ended up giving it to somebody else who really would appreciate it. I don't think they're going to be upset. I don't think they're going to be mad. I think it's going to be okay. And another one is, if you spend a lot of money on it, if you're not using it, it's wasted money anyway. It's a sunk cost. Once you've already spent the money on it, unless you can resell it for the same value, it's money that you've lost. And just keeping it in your collection is just going to make you feel worse for long. You might as well get rid of it and give it to somebody while it's still good and while somebody else can use it. Those are the two methods that I use whenever I declutter. As always, if you have tips that help you, please put them in the comments. Please help us out. I think the more tips we have, the more methods we can try and use, the better we'll do. I have learned so much from people's comments in the past, and I really appreciate that we have a little bit of a community where people can come and help everybody out. That's everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.